everyone, it's me Jessie with Pampered Chef, bringing you all things fun and foodie from right here in my kitchen. Today we are going to be making a fresh vegetable lasagna bake. Doesn't that sound good? It can be made ahead of time, it can be made the day before, it can be made like a day and a half, 2 days before, put in the refrigerator, and then just popped in the oven. I'm gonna post the recipe below. If you do make it in advance, you would cook it about 15 minutes longer. I am going to be making it in my enameled cast iron pan. I have this preheating. It is a heavy duty cast iron and it has the lid, so you don't need to use aluminum foil or plastic wrap or anything. It comes clean super fast and it looks gorgeous. So let's get started. I have our enameled cast iron pan that I'm actually going to cook the lasagna in, preheating, because not only am I going to cook the lasagna in it, I am going to saute our vegetables for inside the lasagna in it. So we need to chop up our veg. I'm gonna use the Rapid Prep mandolin for that. I should probably set it. I think I'm going to do the small julienne, and I don't want it too small, but I don't want it too big. So I'm gonna set it to a number 2 and this julienne setting. And if you haven't seen me use this thing is amazing. The first thing I'm gonna do is my onion. I feel like that should fit. I had this mega onion in the fridge already. This is why I kind of decided to make this recipe, because I had everything kind of already pre-cut up from other recipes this week. And I decided, well, I might as well give this a shot. I've never made this before, but it had everything in it that we like, except mushrooms. So I am actually eliminating the mushrooms. Look how fast I just diced that onion. All right, let's do the rest of this. I love the Rapid Prep mandolin. I use this thing for French fries, to slice things for gratin, to make hash browns, to cut up things for salad. It is so amazing. All right, we have our onion cut up. So now I am just going to add that to our enameled cast iron skillet with a drizzle of olive oil. I'm gonna let that cook while we chop up everything else. Now, because it is small, it won't take that long to cook. If you were doing the mushrooms for this recipe, you would cook the mushrooms first and get them all nice and brown, and then you would add everything else. But like I said, I'm not doing mushrooms because I'm not a fan. So no mushrooms here. All right, let's do our zucchini. And I'm just using that same setting. Look. And the hopper keeps everything so you won't get your hands anywhere near the blade. But if you have little kids that like to help you cook, they could totally help cook, and there's no danger of them getting cut. They can pump up and down the handle. It's really fast. All right, now the recipe calls for a yellow pepper, a large yellow pepper. I had a yellow pepper and an orange pepper kind of already pre-cut up, because, not kind of pre-cut up, I did pre-cut it up because I was using it for vegetables and dip this week. And then we didn't end up using all of it, and I don't want it to go then. You know how they get slimy after a bit. So I figured, why not throw it in here? Remember, recipes are guidelines, not something you have to follow exact. So you can change it up to fit your family's needs as well. All right, almost done. Get all those little bits, and then the best thing about this is it's dishwasher safe, or it comes clean pretty easy. So honestly, I've never thrown it in the dishwasher. I usually just hand wash it because I use it all the time. I barely ever put it away, and it's super easy. So I will just pop that in the sink and I will wash it when we are done. Sometimes it does leave a little juice on there if you're cutting up something that's really juicy. That's no big deal. That is easy to clean up, especially with these awesome towels. All right, so that is good to go. Our onion is already getting nice and soft, so I'm going to throw the peppers and the zucchini in this exact pan. Make sure I get all the good stuff out. Give it a little stir. Set this aside. Now I'm going to let that cook for another second or two while I get our garlic ready. This calls for 4 cloves of garlic. So I'm just going to take the skin off really fast, or attempt to take the skin off really fast. This is all. All right, and now we're going to throw it into the garlic press and then press 4 cloves of garlic into the onions and the pepper mixture. You don't want to put your garlic in at the same time because it does cook a whole lot faster than everything else, and you don't want it to get brown or like burnt. Burnt garlic tastes yuck. So yeah, don't want burnt garlic in here. All right. I'm gonna press these 4 cloves right in here. And normally you'd hear me say I use extra garlic, but these cloves are actually really large, so I'm not going to. They're so large I can barely squeeze it. All right. Get that all cleaned out. And now we're going to make the sauce for our recipe. So I have a jar of diced tomatoes, and I'm going to add in a can, water and everything, of roasted red peppers in here. You're going to want to keep the water in there because we're using a no-boil pasta, so that that water will get absorbed by the pasta and cook up. Using about 2 tablespoons of the sweet basil rub. This has dehydrated onion and garlic, basil, black pepper, red bell pepper, a little sugar, Parmesan cheese, and then a little bit of dehydrated tomato. So it's got a lot of really yummy flavors in here. I'm just gonna puree this up in the Flex Plus, which is our food processor that is battery operated. Turn the power up, and this should puree up pretty fast. You could also use the blender. You could also use the manual food processor for this. And I didn't open up a new can of tomatoes. I actually had some tomatoes in the refrigerator from another recipe. So I'm just using up what I had. I think that's probably good. So again, if you don't have diced tomatoes, you could use tomato puree, you could use tomato sauce. It's just gonna be texturally different. It's not gonna make any difference in the taste. All right, there we go. Now we're gonna make our ricotta cheese mixture. I have a container of ricotta cheese. This is low-fat ricotta, and this is a container about 16 ounces of frozen chopped spinach. I thawed it and I squeezed it out with a towel, and then I'm going to add in 1 egg. Oh, perfect. This is a fresh egg from one of my friends, and you don't want to just plop it in without checking to make sure it's not fertilized first. And then we're going to add in a little bit more of the basil. And I'm just going to stir it up. Probably should have got out a bigger bowl. Didn't think this through. Doesn't have to be perfectly mixed. The egg does need to get in there, but if the spinach is a little not all perfectly pure or blended in, it'll be all right. Just don't want scrambled eggs in your lasagna. That doesn't sound good. And the egg does help hold the ricotta cheese together. So you do want it in there. I love ricotta cheese so much. All right, we did it. Yay! And I smell our veggies, I think they are probably good to go. All right, put that off to the side. Yeah, they're good. All right, so I'm gonna put this on my trivet. This is a silicone trivet. It actually has 3 different sizes. So my counter is safe, and I love that it's 3 in 1. So I can use it for 3 different pans, and it doesn't take up any extra additional space. All right, I'm going to take this out of the pan, since this is the actual pan that we are going to be using to cook our delicious veggie lasagna in. And again, I underestimated the amount of vegetables, so we're gonna really heap this up. Smells delicious. How could garlic and onions and zucchini and peppers not smell good? Oh, it is hot. You know what? I'm just gonna plop a little on my cutting board right here. It's fine. I already had the cutting board out, so we're good to go. I really like the enameled cast iron. Not only is it beautiful, but it's super easy to clean, and it retains the heat so well, and nothing sticks. So it's just really nice. All right, that little bit will be fine down there. So we are going to start by removing our blade, because I don't need that to fall in my pan. We're just gonna splash a little of our sauce down, and I am going to get another mix and scrape, because you need at least 10 of these in the kitchen, at least in our house. And then we're going to put down some of the no-boiled noodles. So we really need about 8 of these. This is enough for 2 lasagnas. I'm gonna put 2 on the bottom, and then we're gonna put down a little of our delicious ricotta cheese and egg and spinach. Kind of spread it around, but as it melts and cooks down, it will kind of disperse. So making a lasagna does not have to be hard. We're gonna sprinkle on some of our already shredded Italian cheese blend. Of course, you could shred your own, and I do that a lot of times, but that was on sale, and I didn't feel like grating all the cheese tonight, so that's what I got. All right, we're gonna sprinkle on our vegetable mixture. This is gonna be healthy and delicious. And then I'm gonna put down the lasagna noodles going the other direction. Kind of thinking I might be able to put 3, but I guess we'll keep it 2. And then we'll repeat again. Sauce. Ooh, that was a lot of sauce that time. Again, the noodles aren't cooked, so the sauce will absorb into the noodles. And our cheese mixture. You know what? I'm gonna use the rest of that up. We're gonna make this a 2-layer lasagna. Well, 3, because we're gonna put another layer on top of this. A 3-layer lasagna. Of course, if you were using a wider pan, it would be less fat. Or you could just double the recipe and keep building it up. Okay. Let's do that. Add the rest of our veg. Ooh, hot. Spread that out. Doesn't that look beautiful? More cheese, of course. More noodles. I think on the top layer, I am gonna break one. Put it like that, why not? And then the rest of the sauce. Spread that around. and more cheese. Now this is going to go covered with the lid in the oven for about a half an hour, and then I'm gonna remove the lid and let the cheese get all bubbly and crusty on the side, and then I will show you what it looks like when it's done. But right now, it's going all down in the oven just like this. Okay, everybody, it's done. Look at this. The edges are all yummy and crusty. The cheese is all melted. Let's dig in. I took this out of the oven about 10 minutes ago, so it should be set. You always want to let a lasagna sit for a few minutes before you serve it up, so that all of the sauce and cheese can kind of settle. All right. I'm trying to cut too big of a piece, but this scoop is like freaking awesome for scooping out lasagnas. Look at that. And a little extra. Oop, we got some sticking on the side. I cannot wait to eat this. Look at the layers. This is gonna be excellent for lunches and for dinner tonight. And if I have any left over after that, because I could see this being like 4 meals, I'm gonna freeze it, like eat half of it, part of it tonight, eat another part for dinner or lunch, and then freeze the rest of it for another lunch or dinner in the future. So this is gonna feed us a few times. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great night. Bye.